Close your eyes. Imagine a single drop of water falling from a bamboo spout into a stone basin. It falls slowly, catching the light, and when it meets the surface, a ripple spreads outward in a perfect circle, widening, softening, until it reaches the edges of the basin and disappears. Let your breath follow the ripple. Breathe in as the drop falls, slowly, steadily. Breathe out as the ripple spreads, widening, thinning, dissolving into stillness. Another drop falls, another ripple spreads. Your breathing finds this rhythm and holds it, slow and circular and calm. Now imagine your body is a garden of raked gravel, and each breath draws a long, smooth line through it, from the top of your head downward. Feel the rake pass over your scalp, and the muscles there settle into smooth, even rows. Your forehead clears. The lines pass over your eyes, your cheeks, your jaw, and each one softens and goes still, arranged into quiet order. Your neck smooths, your shoulders level, dropping gently into place. The rake moves down through your arms, your wrists, your fingers, leaving stillness behind. Your chest rises and falls in long, even furrows. Your stomach, your hips, your thighs, all smoothed, all settled. Your knees, your calves, your ankles, your feet. Every part of you has been raked into quiet, into order, into rest. Somewhere nearby, a bamboo fountain tips and strikes stone with a soft, hollow sound. And then silence. And then another tip, another strike. And you are here, in the stillness between the sounds, breathing slowly, perfectly arranged, perfectly at rest. It is dusk. The sky above you is the color that comes after sunset, a deep, luminous blue that is not yet dark, that still holds the memory of light in its upper reaches, fading to a pale grey gold along the western horizon. It is the hour when the world is at its quietest, when the day has finished everything it had to do and the night has not yet begun. And the space between them is filled with a stillness so complete it feels like a held breath. You are standing before a wooden gate set into a high wall. The wall is made of packed earth and dark timber, old and weathered, and it stretches away in both directions, enclosing what lies behind it completely. The gate is simple, 2 panels of dark cedar wood, their surfaces smooth and grey with age, and they are slightly open, just enough to pass through. The wood smells of cedar, a dry, warm, faintly sweet scent that reaches you even before you step inside. You push the gate open gently. It moves without sound on its hinges. You step through. The garden is before you. It is enclosed on all sides by the wall, and within the wall, everything is arranged with a care and a stillness that makes the air itself feel different, slower, more deliberate. The ground at your feet is covered in fine, pale gravel, raked into long, smooth lines that curve and flow around the stones and the plantings, like water flowing around islands. The lines are perfect, each one parallel to the next, each one evenly spaced, and they create a pattern that is both simple and deeply calming, a pattern that asks nothing of you except to look at it, to notice it, to let it quiet the part of your mind that is always moving. A stone path leads from the gate into the garden. The stones are large and flat, irregularly shaped, set into the gravel at intervals that match the length of a slow, unhurried step. They are dark grey, almost black, and their surfaces are smooth and slightly damp from the moisture in the evening air. You step onto the first stone. It is cool and solid beneath your foot, and the coolness of it is pleasant and grounding, a gentle reminder that you are here, that your body has weight, that the earth is beneath you. You step to the next stone, and the next. Each step is slow and deliberate, and the gravel on either side of the path does not shift or move. It simply lies there, raked and still, holding its pattern. The garden is full of green. The green is not one color, but many, deep and varied, layered from the ground upward. There is the dark, almost black green of the moss that covers the earth beneath the trees and the stones, a moss so thick and so soft that it looks like velvet, like something you could press your hand into and feel it give. There is the brighter green of the ferns that grow in clusters near the base of the wall, their fronds uncurled and still. There is the deep, rich green of the pines, their needles dark and fine and motionless in the still air. And there is the green of the maples, lighter, more delicate, their leaves small and shaped like open hands, some still fully green, some beginning to turn at their edges to shades of gold and rust and deep, warm red. The colors are muted in the dusk light, softened as though seen through water. You walk further into the garden. The stone path curves gently to the right, leading you between two large rocks that have been placed with great care, their surfaces rough and dark and covered in patches of lichen. The rocks are taller than your waist, and they are old, deeply old, their shapes worn and softened by time. Between them, the raked gravel flows in gentle curves, the lines bending around the bases of the rocks like water flowing around boulders in a stream. You pass between the rocks, and the path opens up, and you see the pond. The pond is still. Its surface is dark and smooth, the color of polished stone, reflecting the deep blue of the sky above in a mirror so perfect that the reflection and the reality seem equally true. The pond is bordered by large, flat stones that have been placed along its edge, their surfaces dark and damp. And between the stones, moss grows in thick, soft cushions of deep green. The water is clear. Near the edges, where the bottom is visible, you can see smooth, round stones resting on the bed of the pond, dark and pale and reddish, arranged by the water or by hand into patterns that look both natural and deliberate. And then you see the koi. They are deep in the water, moving slowly, their shapes dark and golden and white beneath the still surface. They move without urgency, without purpose, gliding through the water in long, slow arcs, their fins trailing behind them like silk. One is the color of old gold, a deep, warm amber that catches what little light remains and holds it. Another is white, pure and pale, with patches of orange along its back. They do not rise to the surface. They do not break the stillness of the water. They simply move down in the dark, slow and silent and endlessly patient. You stand at the edge of the pond and watch them. The watching is restful. There is nothing to follow, nothing to anticipate. The koi move, and you watch. And the watching empties your mind the way the raked gravel empties the ground, leaving only smooth, even lines of quiet. From somewhere to your left, you hear a sound. It is the sound of the bamboo fountain, a hollow, resonant clack, bamboo striking stone, followed by a pause, followed by the quiet trickle of water, followed by another pause, and then the clack again. The rhythm is slow and regular, a single sound repeated at long intervals, and it divides the silence of the garden into equal, measured portions, the way a clock divides time, but more gently, more naturally, with a patience that belongs to water and stone and growing things. You listen. Clack. Silence. The trickle of water filling the bamboo tube. Silence. Clack. The sound is as old as the garden itself, and it will go on as long as the water flows, which is to say it will go on for as long as you need it to. You follow the path toward the sound. It leads you along the edge of the pond and past a stone lantern that stands at a bend in the path. The lantern is made of grey stone, its shape simple and geometric, a square base and a square top with a small chamber between them. And inside the chamber, a light is glowing. The light is warm and amber, a candle or a small oil flame, and it casts a soft golden glow on the stones and the moss and the gravel around it. The light does not flicker. It is steady and still, and it makes the stone of the lantern look warm, as though the stone itself is giving off the light, as though it has been collecting the warmth of the day and is now releasing it slowly into the evening. There are other lanterns further along the path, each one glowing with the same soft amber light, placed at intervals that mark the way through the garden like quiet sentinels. Their glow is not bright enough to illuminate the garden fully. It is just enough to see by, just enough to make the green of the moss and the dark of the water and the pale of the gravel visible in soft, warm tones. The rest is shadow, gentle and deep, the kind of shadow that does not hide but softens, that makes the edges of things blur and dissolve into one another. The path crosses a small bridge. The bridge is made of wood, a single curved arc of dark polished timber without railings, spanning the narrow end of the pond where the water is shallow and very still. You step onto the bridge. The wood is smooth beneath your bare feet and faintly warm, a different warmth from the stone, softer, more alive, the warmth of a material that was once a tree and still remembers. Your footsteps on the bridge are quiet, a soft tap, barely audible above the sound of the bamboo fountain, which is closer now, just ahead, on the other side of the pond. You cross the bridge and step onto the stone path again. The fountain is here, in a small clearing beside the pond, surrounded by low ferns and a bed of dark, wet moss. A length of bamboo, thick and hollow, balanced on a pivot above a stone basin. Water flows from a narrow spout into the open end of the bamboo, and the bamboo fills slowly, gradually, the weight of the water tipping it downward, degree by degree, until the open end dips below the level of the basin and the water pours out in a smooth, clear stream. The empty bamboo swings back upright and strikes a stone behind it with that hollow, resonant clack. Then the filling begins again, water trickling into bamboo, the slow, inevitable tipping, the pour, the clack. It is a cycle that repeats without variation, without hurry, each clack identical to the last, each pause exactly as long. You watch the bamboo fill. The water entering it is invisible, just a quiet trickle from the spout, but you can see the bamboo slowly, almost imperceptibly, beginning to tilt as the weight builds inside it. And then the tipping point, the gentle fall, the release, the clack. The water in the basin is dark and still, except when the bamboo tips, and then it ripples briefly, concentric circles spreading outward and then dissolving, and then it is still again. You stand beside the fountain and listen. The sound fills the garden without crowding it. It is a single note, repeated, the simplest possible music, and it is enough. Beyond the fountain, set back from the path beneath the branches of a large maple tree, there is a tea house. It is very small, barely more than a room, built of dark wood and pale paper screens, its roof low and covered in dark ceramic tiles. The entrance is a low door, and you bend slightly to pass through it. You step up onto the floor, and your feet meet tatami. The tatami is smooth and firm and faintly warm, woven of rush grass that has dried to a pale golden straw color, and its texture beneath your feet is even and fine, each strand lying flat against the next in a tight, precise weave. The tatami smells of grass and sunlight and something faintly sweet, the smell of a natural material that has been cut and dried and shaped with care. It is one of the gentlest smells you know. The tea house is spare and simple. The walls are pale, the screens letting in the last of the dusk light in soft, diffused panels. The floor is covered entirely in tatami, and the only furniture is a low table at the center, dark wood, polished and smooth, and a single cushion on the floor beside it. On the table, a small ceramic teapot sits beside a cup. The teapot is round and rough-textured, a dark, earthy brown made by hand, and it is warm when you touch it. Someone has prepared tea. You sit on the cushion. It is firm and supportive, and you settle into a cross-legged position naturally, your back straight, your hands resting on your knees. The cushion is covered in a dark, simple fabric, and it holds you comfortably without excess. You pour the tea. It flows from the teapot in a thin, steady stream, a pale, cloudy green, and the steam rises from the cup in a slow, delicate curl. The smell reaches you at once. It is the smell of green tea, fresh and vegetal and slightly sweet, with a faint, grassy bitterness beneath the sweetness that gives it depth. The smell is clean and warm and alive. You lift the cup with both hands. The ceramic is warm against your palms, rough and uneven, and you can feel the marks of the potter's hands in the surface. You bring the cup to your lips and take a slow sip. The tea is warm and smooth, and its flavor is delicate and layered. The grassy sweetness first, then the faint bitterness, then a deeper, rounder warmth that lingers on your tongue and in your throat. You swallow, and the warmth moves down through your chest and settles there, quiet and gentle. Through the open screens of the tea house, you can see the garden. The lanterns glow along the path, amber points of light in the deepening dusk. The pond is a dark, smooth shape beyond them, and the koi are invisible now, somewhere beneath the surface, moving in the dark. The maple tree above the tea house is a canopy of leaves, dark and still, and through the gaps between the leaves, you can see the sky, which is darkened from blue to a deep, rich indigo. The first stars are beginning to appear, faint and small and very far away. The rain begins. It comes without announcement, a soft, gentle rain, the kind that does not fall so much as arrive, settling on the leaves and the stones and the surface of the pond with a quiet, continuous whisper. You can hear it on the bamboo leaves above the tea house, a soft, papery sound, like many small fingers tapping on many small drums. The rain falls on the maple leaves and on the tiles of the roof and on the gravel of the garden, and each surface makes its own sound. And together, The sounds blend into a single, soft, continuous wash that fills the garden and the tea house and the air around you. The bamboo fountain continues its rhythm beneath the rain. Clack. Pause. The trickle of water. Clack. The rain does not change it. The fountain goes on as it has always gone on, steady and patient, measuring out the silence in equal, unhurried portions. You take another sip of tea. The cup is warm in your hands. The tatami is smooth and warm beneath you. The cushion holds you. The rain falls. The fountain sounds. Everything in the garden is exactly where it should be, arranged with the care that makes the arrangement invisible, so that it looks not design but inevitable, as though the stones and the water and the trees and the moss could only ever have been in these places, in this order, in this quiet. The rain grows slightly heavier, though it remains soft, and the sound on the roof above you deepens, becomes more present, a gentle, steady drumming on the dark tiles. The water in the pond outside must be dimpled with rain now, its smooth surface broken into 1,000 tiny circles, each one appearing and vanishing in an instant. You do not need to see it to know. You can hear it, the soft, collective whisper of rain meeting water, blending with the sound of rain on leaves, and rain on stone, and rain on gravel, until the garden is wrapped in a continuous, gentle wash of sound. You sit and listen. The tea cools slowly in the cup. The warmth inside your chest remains. Your hands rest on your knees, and your palms are warm, and your fingers are still. There is nowhere else to be. There is nothing else to do. This room, this tea, this rain, this sound of bamboo striking stone. This is all there is, and it is enough. It is more than enough. You set the cup down on the table. The ceramic meets the wood with a soft, small sound, and then there is only the rain and the fountain and the stillness. The light outside has faded. The lanterns glow more brightly now, their amber light warmer against the darkening garden. The pond is invisible, except where a lantern's glow reaches the water and rests on the surface in a small, trembling pool of gold. The gravel paths have disappeared into shadow. The stones, the moss, the trees, all softened and blurred by the dark and the rain. The tea house is warm and dry. The rain falls around it, but not inside it. The tatami is dry and smooth. The air inside is warm and smells of green tea and rush grass, and the faintest trace of cedar from the wooden walls. Your breathing is slow. Your body is still. Your hands rest on your knees. The rain on the bamboo leaves, soft, continuous, gentle. The fountain, clack, pause, clack. A rhythm you feel in your chest now. The tea is warm inside you. The tatami is warm beneath you. Your eyes grow heavy. The lanterns outside blur to soft points of gold. The garden is dark and still. The koi are somewhere in the dark water, moving slowly, silent. The rain falls on the pond, small circles forming and dissolving on the surface, forming and dissolving. The maple leaves, dark above you, holding the rain, letting it fall in slow drops. The fountain, clack, a hollow sound, bamboo on stone, and then silence, and then the trickle of water. The gravel paths, pale and smooth, their lines perfect, even in the dark, even unseen. The lanterns glowing, amber and warm, through the paper screens, soft light, fading at the edges, the smell of moss and cedar and green tea and rain. Your body is still, your breath is slow. The cushion holds you, the tatami holds you, the tea house holds you. The rain on the leaves, on the tiles, on the water, a sound like whispering, like breathing. The fountain tips and strikes, and the sound moves through the garden and fades and returns. You drift gently, slowly, like a ripple in the stone basin, spreading outward, softening, dissolving. The garden is quiet, the rain is quiet, everything is arranged, everything is still. Just warmth, just the sound of water, just the smell of tea and moss and cedar. And you are asleep in the small tea house, in the quiet garden, in the rain, in the gentle dark. The fountain goes on, and the rain goes on, and the stillness goes on, and on, and on.
you.